My name is Sona, and I'm 22 years old. I'm a university student living on my own for the first time, and let me tell you, it's been a ride. No one ever warns you about the small, ridiculous challenges of adulthood. I always thought it'd be like the movies: cute apartment, fairy lights, and somehow magically knowing how to make a five-star meal. Spoiler alert, it's not. The first week I moved in, I had to learn the hard way that toilets don't fix themselves. Yeah, nothing like the humbling experience of YouTubing how to fix a clogged toilet at midnight while wearing bunny slippers. Between classes, part-time shifts at a bookstore, and figuring out how to adult, I've been barely holding it together. But honestly, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I'm studying marketing, though most days it feels like I'm just managing to survive. The bookstore gig is interesting. You'd think people who read would be patient and kind, but I've seen grown adults lose it over a buy one, get 1-50% off promo not applying to their favorite book. One guy even tried to convince me that graphic novels aren't books and demanded a manager. Wild times. One afternoon, after a particularly long shift, I decided to go for a walk to clear my head. My neighborhood isn't fancy, but it's cozy, rows of weathered townhouses with colorful porches. As I'm walking, humming along to a song only I can hear, I'm stopped by a voice. "Hey there, young lady," it calls out. I turn to see an older man sitting on the porch of one of the nicer houses on the block. He's got sharp eyes, a head full of neatly combed silver hair, and a smile that's too friendly to ignore. "Hi," I say, glancing around like I'm checking for hidden cameras. "Name's Walter," he says, leaning back in his chair like he's lived on that porch for 100 years. "I've seen you walk by a few times, but never had the chance to say hello." "Oh," I reply, surprised but not wanting to be rude. "I'm Sophie." "Nice to meet you, Walter." "Just call me Walt," he says with a grin. Walter makes me feel old. He's funny, I'll give him that. We chat for a bit, just small talk about the neighborhood. Turns out he's lived here for decades and knows everything about everyone: who's got the best flowers, which neighbor's dog barks too much, and who's got a thing for sneaking packages into the house before their spouse sees. A few weeks later, I'm coming back from class when I spot him again, this time walking the fluffiest little dog I've ever seen. It's one of those dogs that looks like a cloud with legs. "Sona," Walt calls out, waving at me with a big smile. "Hey, Walt," I say as I approach, crouching to pet the dog. "Who's this cutie?" "This is Benny," he says, beaming. He's my little troublemaker, but I'd be lost without him. Benny's tail wags like it's got its own engine, and I'm instantly in love. I scratch behind his ears, and he's all over me like I'm his new best friend. "He's adorable," I say, laughing as Benny's wet nose presses into my hand. "I'm glad you think so," Walt replies, watching us with a fond smile. "You've got a kind heart, Sophie." People with kind hearts are rare these days. It's a sweet compliment, but something about the way he says it makes me feel odd, not in a bad way, but definitely a "what's your angle" kind of way. Still, I smile and thank him. Then, a week later, I'm getting ready for bed when my phone buzzes with a call from an unknown number. "Hello?" I answer, still brushing my teeth. "Sona, it's Walt." My heart does a little flip. How did he get my number? I'm too polite to ask. "Hey, Walt. Everything okay?" "I'm feeling a little down tonight. Thought maybe you'd want to grab a coffee with an old man," he says, his voice friendly, but something's off. I'm tired. I've got an 8 a.m. lecture, but something tells me he's lonely, and I'm not heartless. "Sure," I say. "There's a diner down the street. I'll meet you there." When I arrive, Walt's already sitting at a booth, sipping coffee like it's the best drink he's ever had. We talk about life, love, his wife, and it's nice, in a way. He's got stories, wild ones but kind, that you'd never expect from someone's grandpa. I'm actually enjoying myself until he leans forward and says something that throws me off balance. "Sona," he says softly. "You're a special girl. I'd love for us to be close friends." I blink. Thanks." "No, I mean it," he continues. "If you're ever in need, rent, groceries, anything, I'd be happy to help." And then he slides a $100 bill across the table like it's a napkin. I'm frozen. Is this Is this normal? Is he being nice? Or is there a but coming? Thanks, Walt, but I'm good, I say, trying to sound casual. I push the bill back to him. His smile doesn't falter. You're a proud one. I like that. I'm unsettled, but play it off with a smile. We finish our coffee, and I'm out of there as fast as I can without being rude. For the next few days, I avoid him. I'm not sure if I'm overthinking it, but something shifted. Then, one evening, my phone buzzes again. Sona, Walt's voice says, low and serious. Can we meet tonight? I'm busy, I reply quickly. Please, he says. I just need a friend. I'm torn. Do I go? Do I ignore him? But I've learned one thing about life. Not every story has a neat ending. Some stories just keep going, and you've got to figure out where you're supposed to stand.